Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshthaya. Hare Krishna. Is my voice reaching you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Because time is less, it is already late, so I'll continue. So we are seeing the path of return for a practitioner who is on the yoga process. So how from gross to subtle, he dissolves all the gross element to the subtle element. He does surpassing the gross and the subtle forms of covering and with the more subtle covering on the soul, which is the false ego. And in that Hare Krishna. I have joined from the mobile because laptop is inconsistent and just wasting time. So you will have to refer from your books. You can hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So from gross to subtle, and finally he merges into the material modes, and then he reaches the egoism in goodness. This is what the 30th verse is speaking, what we discussed. After that, all egoism is merged into Mahatattva. This is how the creation begins. Yeah. First, there is the glance of the Supreme Lord in the form of Mahavishnu. The creation is unmanifest. What is the unmanifest state called? Quickly answer. What is the unmanifest state called? It's a very basic question everyone should be knowing. Anyone can answer? Who knows the answer? Yes, Sonika?
Mahatattva, Prabhuji.
No. Unmanifest is Mahatattva. What are you speaking?
Pradhan, Prabhuji, sorry.
Yeah. From Pradhan, there is Mahatattva, and from the Mahatattva, the first element that comes out, that is the false ego. And when the false ego has interactions in the three modes, then the mind, the intelligence, and the senses, they all manifest. So the reverse process is how it is that he is coming to the level of self-realization. So I'll go further. See the 31st verse. Tenatmana atmanam upeti shantam anandam anandamayo avasane etam gatim bhagvatim gatoya savai punarneha visajate angaha. Only the purified soul can attain the perfection of association with the personality of God. A very beautiful verse. It says, Ten Atmana Atmanam. So the first Atmana is the self, and the second Atmanam is the super soul. And Upeti Shantam. Shantam means he comes to the point of realization, perfection of realization. And what he experiences is Anandam Anandmayo. So Anandam is satisfaction, and Ayanmayo is when he is satisfied. Avasane means being freed from all material contamination. And then he goes to Gatim Bhagavatim Gatoyaha. Then he reaches the topmost destination, the supreme destination. Only the purified, so see the translation, only the purified soul can attain the perfection of associating with the personality of Godhead in complete bliss and satisfaction in his constitutional state. Constitutional state means that all the false covering is purified. What is the false covering? That I am enjoyer or I am the Lord of all I survey. Whoever is able to renovate such devotional perfection, what a Prabhupada's genius. Whoever is able to renovate such devotional perfection. So renovation is required. Where? In our devotional practice. Unless and until we attain the perfection. So whoever is able to renovate such devotional perfection is never again attracted by the material world, and he never retains. What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? Especially the last part. He never returns. Yes, Ramya. So many verses are there.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Abrahma Bhuvana Loka.
No. He never returns. Baba. That is
Mam upaityate punarjanma na vidyate.
Krishna. प्रभु मैं क्लास ले रहा हूँ यार, क्या करूँ सुनो, नहीं मुश्किल से तो क्लास ले रहा हूँ, बार बार ब्रेक हो रही है, जब फोन इनकमिंग आती है तो क्लास ब्रेक जाती है, उसी से कर रहा हूँ, उसी से ले रहा हूँ, प्लीज कुछ देर से बात करें. Yes, sorry. Internet is very inconsistent today. Okay, please hear the purport. We should especially note in this verse the description of Gatim Bhagavatim. To become merged in the rays of the Parabrahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as desired by the Brahmavadi impersonalists, is not Bhagavatim perfection. The Bhagavatas never accept merging in the personal rays of the Lord, but always aspire after personal association with the Supreme Lord in one of the Vaikuntha spiritual planets in the spiritual sky. The whole of the spiritual sky, of which the total number of the material sky is only an insignificant part, is full of unlimited numbers of Vaikuntha planets. So Prabhupada is giving the general information about the variegatedness and the vastness of the spiritual planet. Material sky is only an insignificant part. It's full of unlimited numbers of Vaikuntha planets. The destination of the devotee, the Bhagavata, is to enter in one of the Vaikuntha planet, in each of which the personality of Godhead, in his unlimited personal expansion, enjoys himself in the association of his unlimited numbers of pure devotees associates. The conditioned souls in the material world, after gaining emancipation by devotional service, are promoted to these planets. But the number of ever liberated souls is far, far greater than the number of conditioned souls. This is very, very hope giving. That the number of ever liberated soul is far, far greater than the number of conditioned soul in the material world. And what is the example? The Prabhupada gives the example. What example can we quote to relate this? That the number of conditioned soul is much less than the liberated soul. What is the example Prabhupada gives? Prabhupada gives this example very often. He quotes it. And that is the general way to see that how this is true. No one is raising hand.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna Prabhuji.
Pranav. Wait. Pranav has raised his hand. Yes, Pranav.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Number of people in the prison is much less
Yes.
than the
Yes.
people
Simple.
outside.
The number of people in the prison is much less as those who are outside the prison. It is many, many times more. The number of conditioned souls in the material world and the ever liberated souls in the Vaikuntha planets never care to visit this miserable world again, material world. The impersonalists who aspire to merge in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti effulgence of the Supreme Lord, but have no conception of loving devotional service to Him in His personal form, in the spiritual manifestations, may be compared to certain species of fish who, being born in the rivers and rivulets, migrate to the great ocean. They cannot stay in the ocean indefinitely, for their urge for self gratification brings them back to the rivers and streams to spawn. Just see what Srila Prabhupada is comparing. Similarly, when the materialist becomes frustrated in his attempt to enjoy himself in the limited material world, he may seek impersonal liberation by merging either in the causal ocean or in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti effulgence. However, as neither the causal ocean nor the impersonal Brahma Jyoti effulgence affords any superior substitute for association and engagement of the senses, the impersonalist will fall again into the limited material world to become entangled once more in the wheel of birth and death, drawn on by the inextinguishable, drawn in by the inextinguishable desire for sensual engagement. But any devotee who enters the kingdom of God by transcendental engagement of his senses in devotional service, and who associates with the liberated soul and the personality of Godhead there, will never be attracted to the limited surroundings of the material world. What is the verse? One who has had the higher experience. He is not interested in the lower experience. Only he can give up the lower experience by experiencing something more higher. Param Dishtva Nivartate. If he has tasted something superior. In the Bhagavad Gita 8:15 also the same is confirmed. The great Mahatmas or the Bhakti Yogis, after attaining my association, never come back to this material world, which is full of miseries and non-permanent. We just read 8:15, maybe 2 weeks back in Spiritual Scientist. Who remembers the verse 8:15 without seeing in the book? We just covered 8:15. I discussed a lot on that verse. Dayāśīl Prabhu is not hearing today.
He is here.
Huh? Where is he? These basic verses should be remembered. Bolo Ravindra Prabhu, what is the verse?
रोजी मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्मम दुखालयम अशाश्वतम, उसके आगे
चलो ठीक है, वे कोई बात नहीं. आपने एक लाइन बता दी, दूसरी लाइन कौन कंप्लीट करेगा? Who will complete the next line? प्रदीप?
न आप्नुवन्ति महात्मना संसिद्धिं परमं गतिम्.
Samsiddhi Paramam. This is what it says. The great Mahatmas or the Bhakti Yogis, after attaining my association, never come back to this material world which is full of miseries and is non-permanent. The highest perfection of life, therefore, is to attain his association and nothing else. The Bhakti Yogi, being completely engaged in the Lord's service, has no attraction for other processes of liberation like jnana or yoga. A pure devotee is 100% devotee of the Lord and nothing more. A pure devotee is 100% a devotee of the Lord and nothing more. Prabhupada is not writing that he is nothing less. Prabhupada is saying he is nothing more. That means he has no aspirations for anything else. Because he is complete. He should further note in this verse the two words Shantam and Anandam, which denote the devotional service of the Lord, can easily bestow upon the devotee two important benedictions, namely peace and satisfaction. The impersonalist is desirous of becoming one with the Supreme, or in other words, he wants to become the Supreme. This is a myth for me. The mystic yogis become encumbered by various mystic powers and so have neither peace nor satisfaction. So neither the impersonalists nor the yogis can have real peace and satisfaction. But the devotee can become fully peaceful and satisfied because of his association with the complete whole. Therefore, merging in the absolute or attaining some mystic power has no attraction for the devotee. Attainment of love of Godhead means complete freedom from all other attractions. The conditioned soul has many aspirations, such as becoming a religious man, becoming a rich man, or first-class enjoyer, becoming God himself, or becoming powerful, like the mystics, and acting wonderfully, like getting anything or doing anything. But all these aspirations should be rejected by the prospective devotee who actually wants to revive his dormant love of God. The impure devotee aspires after all the above mentioned material things by perfection of devotion. But a pure devotee has none of the tinges of the above contaminations, which are the influence of material desires, impersonal speculations, and attainment of mystic powers. First is Karmi, the other is Jnani, the third is Yogi. One can attain the stage of love of God by pure devotional service or a learned labor of love. That is Bhakti Yoga. For the sake of the devotee's lovable object, the personality of Godhead. To be more clear, if one wants to attain the stage of love of Godhead, he must give up all desire for material desire. He should refrain from worshipping any of the demigods, and he should devote himself only for the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He must give up the foolish idea of becoming one with the Lord and the desire to have some wonderful powers, just to get the ephemeral adoration of the world. The pure devotee is only favorably engaged in the service of the Lord, without any hope of emolument. One second. Hare Krishna. Sorry, the internet is very unstable today. Are you able to hear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So the last line says the pure devotee is only favorably engaged in the service of the Lord without any hope of emolument. You know emolument, no? That it does not want any return or reward. This will bring about love of God to the stage of Shantam and Anandam as stated in this book. Ete Shruti te Nipaved Ved Gite Tvaya Abhiprishthe cha Sanatane cha Ye Vaipura Brahmana Ahatushta Aradhito Bhagavan Vasudeva. Your Majesty, Maharaj Parikshit, know that all that I have described in reply to your proper inquiries is just according to your version of the Vedas. And it is the eternal truth. This was described personally by Lord Krishna unto Brahma, with whom the Lord was satisfied upon being properly worshipped. So Parikshit Maharaj is getting the source of what Vasudeva Goswami is speaking. Very important. Whatever we speak, it must have substantial evidence. The purport says that two different ways of reaching the spiritual sky and thereby getting emancipation from all material bondage, namely either the direct process of reaching the kingdom of God or the gradual process to the higher planets of the universe, are set forth exactly according to the version of the Vedas. The Vedic version in this connection are Vede sarve pramuchyanti kama ye asya hidi shritha atho mrityo amrito bhavati atra brahma samushnate. Brhan Aranya Upanishad 447. Ante archir abhisambhavanti. Bharat Aranya Upanishad 6-15. Those who are free from all material desires, which are the diseases of the heart, are able to conquer death and enter the kingdom of God through the Archi planets. These Vedic versions corroborate the versions of Srimad Bhagavatam, and the later is further confirmed by Shukdev Goswami, who affirms that the truth was disclosed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, Vasudev to Brahma, the first authority of the Vedas. The disciplic succession holds that the Vedas were uttered by Lord Krishna to Brahma, by Brahma to Narad, and by Narad to Vyasadeva, and then by Vyasadeva to Shukdev Goswami, and so on. So there is no difference between the versions of the authorities. The truth is eternal. And as such, there cannot be any new opinion about it. This is very important. That there cannot be any new opinion upon the truth. The truth is eternal. That means the eternal truth can experience no new interpretation. That is the way of knowing the knowledge contained in the Veda. It is not a thing to be understood by one's erudite scholarship or by one's fashionable interpretation of mundane scholars. There is nothing to be added and nothing to be subtracted because the truth is the truth. I am reminded of a very famous personality. His biography is called My Experiments with Truth. Where is the possibility of having any experiment with truth? Prabhupada is speaking here. The truth is to be accepted, not to be experimented. Prabhupada is hammering this point. There is nothing to be added and nothing to be subtracted because the truth is the truth. And one has to accept, after all, some authority. The modern scientists are also authorities for the common man for some scientific truth. The common man follows the version of the scientist. This means that the common man follows the authority. The Vedic knowledge is also received in that way. The common man cannot argue about what is beyond the sky or beyond the universe. He must accept the versions of the Vedas as they are understood by the authorized disciplines of them. In the Bhagavad Gita, also the same process of understanding the Gita is stated in the 4th chapter. What is the verse? Fourth chapter, which verse? Manoram Prabhu?
Prabhuji, this is evam parampara praptam.
Yes, of course, it is. That is the only one way. You are seeing there is so much of exchange of needless videos in the YouTube. Please don't hear them and don't waste your time. If there was no parampara system, then only Krishna will be the speaker and the guru, and the entire world will be the follower. If when there is no need of a living guru, then Krishna is the only guru. Now why he has to establish the parampara system? Such common sense people have lost. Why? Because they are very much enamored by the illusionary energy. If there was no need of parampara, then how the message of Bhagavad Gita could be lost? All the 700 verses of Gita are there everywhere. Every version of Bhagavad Gita book, the 700 verses of Sanskrit is the same. It is verbatim the same. But where is the difficulty? Because unless and until one is coming in parampara, one can have no understanding of Bhagavad. Krishna is saying, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarishyo vido. Sa evayam mayate adya yoga prokta paratana. Why? Because you are bhakto si me sakha cheti. Rahasyam hi etat uttamam. So I am revealing this most confidential secret to you because you are my dear devotee and friend. First thing he says is bhakto si me sakha cheti. So the connection with the Supreme Lord and one's return on the path of eternity is only to the extent that one is bhaktosi. This is what Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing in all these verses. This means that the common man also follows the authority. The Vedic knowledge is also received in that way. The common man cannot argue about what is beyond the sky or beyond the universe. He must accept the version of the Vedas as they are understood by the authorized disciplic succession. In Bhagavad Gita, also the same process of understanding the Gita is stated in the 4th chapter. If one does not follow the authoritative version of the Acharyas, see, Krishna, Prabhupada is not writing, if one does not follow the authoritative way of Krishna. Prabhupada is writing, if one does not follow the authoritative version of the Acharyas, and not Acharya, Acharyas mentioned in the Veda. This is precisely what is we are experiencing. They are vainly searching after the truth because they have no aspiration to accept the truth as it is coming in the parampara. Okay, I'll take one more verse. Nahi ato anya shiva pantha vishita samastrava iha vasudeve bhagavati bhakti yogo yato bhave. Very good. For those who are wandering in the material universe, there is no more auspicious means of deliverance than what aims at the direct devotional service of the Lord Krishna. Vishataha, those who are wandering, where Sāci-Sutā, the material world. Then for them, Iha Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Yato Bhave. As will be clarified in the next verse, devotional service or direct Bhakti Yoga is the only absolute and auspicious means of deliverance from the grip of material existence. There are many indirect methods for deliverance from the clutches of material existence. But none of them is as easy and auspicious as Bhakti Yoga. It is called, Bhakti Yoga has one more name. What is the name as per this verse? What is the name of Bhakti Yoga? Bakro? It's mentioned here. Boliye. What is the name of Bhakti Yoga? Srila Shukadev Goswami is mentioning here. Why you are puzzled? It is there in the verse. Sonika, you have raised your hand.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Boliye.
Shiva Pantha, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it is Shiva Pantha. Shiva means it is most auspicious. And Pantha means the path. It is the most auspicious path. There are many indirect methods for deliverance from the clutches of material existence. But none of them is as easy and auspicious as Bhakti Yoga. The means of Jnana and Yoga and other allied disciplines are not independent in delivering a performance. Such activities help one to reach the stage of Bhakti Yoga after many, many years. In the Bhagavad Gita 12:15, it is said that those who are attached to the impersonal feature of the absolute truth of the absolute are liable to so many troubles in the pursuit of their desired goal. And the empiricist philosophers reaching after the absolute truth realize the importance of Vasudeva realization as all in all after many, many births. 12.5, who remembers? Bolo. बोलो दयाशील प्रभु, अभी आपका दर्शन हुआ मुझे.
प्रभु जी क्लेश अधिकरस्ते.
हाँ, क्लेशो अधिकरस्ते शाम अव्यक्त आसक्त चेतसाम. Where is the klesh? Because the asakti is in avyakta, unmanifest. And what is 719? Purushottam Prabhu? 719 is very popular. देखना नहीं, किताब में देख के नहीं बोलना है.
बहुनाम जन्मनाम.
Yes. Jnanvan mam prapadyate. After many, many births. As far as yoga systems are concerned, it is also said in Bhagavad Gita 6.47. See, Bhagavad Gita is the constant companion of a Kanishta, of a Madhyama, and of a Uttama. Where is the proof here? In this purport, Prabhupada is profusely quoting and quoting and quoting. 12.5, 7.19, 6.47, 18.66. One para purport 4 verses from Bhagavad Gita. What is 6.47? Kuber? Last verse of the Karma Yoga section. किताब देख के नहीं बोलना है.
याद नहीं आ रहा बोलिए।
हाँ, तुमको कौन सा श्लोक याद है ये बताओ ना. 12.5 बोलो. अभी दोहराया था, अभी जस्ट बोला था दयाशील प्रभु ने. अभी भी दिमाग कहीं और ही है. हाँ, माया का जो प्रलोभन है उसी के पीछे भाग रहा है, उसी के पीछे पीछे दौड़ रहे हैं. हाँ, ठीक करके जब तक शास्त्रों का अध्ययन नहीं करोगे, अभी बता रहे हैं 2 चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है इस पूरे वर्सेस में. हमने क्या 2 चीजें बहुत आउटस्टैंडिंग थी, किसी को स्ट्राइक की हो? In this set of verses that we have studied, what are the 2 very important aspects which is being discussed? बोलिए. Shantam and Anandam. This is what the jiva should be aspiring, nothing else. कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है, ना तो शांति मिलेगी, हाँ, ना आनंद मिलेगा. उसके लिए रिवर्स करना पड़ेगा प्रोसेस. अभी बताया पूरा रिवर्स. Anyway, the sooner the better, otherwise time will be over. So it is said in Bhagavad Gita 6.47 that amongst the mystics who pursue the absolute truth and one who is always engaged in the service of the Lord is the greatest of all. Yoginam api sarvesham. And the last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita 1866 advises fully surrendering unto the Lord, leaving aside all other engagements on different processes for self-realization and liberation from material bondage. And the purport of all Vedic literature is to induce one to accept the transcendental loving service of the Lord by all means. As already explained in the text of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, either direct bhakti yoga or the means which ultimately culminate in bhakti yoga, without the tinge of fruitive activity, constitutes the highest form of religion. What is the verse? Very simple, please. ये फर्स्ट कैंटो का वर्स है. यस रम्या.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, धर्म प्रोजित कैटभ अत्र परमं निर्मात सरानाम सताम.
कंप्लीट बताओ. यस, वेरी गुड. नेक्स्ट 2 लाइन्स. डेली रिवाइज करना चाहिए, डेली. बोलो. पहली लाइन हो गई, नेक्स्ट लाइन बोलो.
धर्म प्रोजित कैटभ अत्र परमं निर्मात सरानाम सताम. वेदम वास्तवम अत्र वस्तु शिवदाम तापत्रय उन्मूलनम. श्रीमद् भागवते महामुनि कृते किंबा परेरीश्वरः.
ना किंवा परे ईश्वर है.
किंबा परे साध्या हृदय अवरुद्धते अत्र कीर्तिभिः शुश्रूषुभिः तत्क्षणात्.
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. रोज याद करो, बार बार रिपीट करो, नहीं तो सब भूल जाएंगे. या किंवा परे ईश्वर है. ठीक है, सही है, परफेक्ट. So either direct bhakti yoga or the means which ultimately culminate in bhakti yoga without the tinge of fruitive activity. So these are all cheating activities. What are the cheating activities? Fruitive activities. Waste of time for the performer. Srila Sridhar Swami and other acharyas like Srila Jiva Goswami agree that bhakti yoga is not only simple, easy, natural, and free from trouble. Prabhupada writes this in one more, he writes in the preface of Bhagavad Gita. What is the statement? Who remembers? So many times I have repeated the preface statement. 4 things: easy, simple, natural, and free from trouble. Bolo Dayāśīl Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Our Krishna consciousness movement is genuine, natural, historically authorized, and yes, Prabhuji.
That is
And
true,
which is
but
based on the Bhagavad Gita.
no. Okay, come again. Try to gradually speak.
Ji.
What is the
So,
statement?
The Prabhupada tells that our Krishna consciousness movement is genuine, natural,
Yes.
historically authorized, and it's based upon the Bhagavad Gita as it is.
4 things, na? It is genuine, it is natural, historically bona fide, and what is the 4th?
Yeah, because it is based on Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada.
No, there is one more, my dear. What is the 4th? It is genuine, it is natural, it is historically bona fide. Okay, what is the 4th aspect? Most important aspect. How it is different from all others? And transcendental, Baba. It is transcendental due to be it being based on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. It's transcendental.
Yes, Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhupada.
It is genuine, it is natural, it is historically authorized, and it is transcendental due to its being based on Bhagavad Gita. This is what Prabhupada is saying here also. That Bhakti Yoga is not only easy, simple, natural, and free from trouble. Free from trouble means what? What is free from trouble? Transcendental. Transcendental. And this is exactly the same. And transcendental, but it is only source of happiness for the human being. So you see all the verses are talking about 2 aspects. What is that? Shantam and Anandam. So how the living entity can experience Shantam and Anandam. So we will continue. Krishna willing tomorrow. Tomorrow is Spiritual Scientist, Saturday. Dayāśīl Prabhu, my, of course, 100% plan is to come, unless and until Krishna has some other plan. Okay. Tomorrow morning, I'll be first going to Rohini. I have a class in Rohini temple, but in the evening, I'll come. And what happened to you, Purushottam? Now we have found everything, what you were looking and searching for so many years. Now what are you busy for? Why have you not come and diagnosed yourself?
Next week, Prabhu, I'm coming.
Next week. Next week is Monday to Saturday. Okay. How many of you have not chanted 25 rounds? Please raise your hand. Till now, who have not chanted 25 rounds? Be honest, the Super Soul is witnessing you. Sonika, Dayāśīl Prabhu, and अरे डिजिटल हाथ उठाना पड़ेगा भैया, डिजिटल जमाना है. दोनों हाथ उठा दो जिसका 16 भी नहीं हुआ है. जिसके 16 नहीं हुआ दोनों हाथ उठाओ. सोना मत, खाना मत, समझ गए? 25 करने के बाद ही सोना, वरना मत सोना. और अगली बार अगर ऐसा किया तो 32 करना है। मैं सुबह ही किया 32, उससे पहले खाओ मत, सिंपल सी बात है। अगर बॉडीली डिमांड में फंसे रहोगे तो फिर स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिस नहीं हो सकती, नहीं होगी। हैव टू बिकम अ स्ट्रिक्ट प्रैक्टिशनर। Thank you very much. Next Ekadashi, I think, is Nirjala Ekadashi. What is the next Ekadashi? Which day?
निर्जल एकादशी प्रभु जी, 7th
7th June, Saturday. 7th June, Saturday. Okay, so next Ekadashi will be Nirjala Ekadashi. So at least chant now minimum 25. And next in the Nirjala Ekadashi, please prepare your heart to chant minimum 64. Anyone has any question or any contributions? Okay, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the ascended devotees. Hare Krishna.